Maggie says, tell me what is wrong with me. I don't see anything wrong with you from here. Because no matter how often I got hurt emotionally, I still forgive that person who always hurt me. Sometimes I think this is stupidity, but my heart keeps always forgive. Well, you forgive, that's fine, but you don't have to continue that relationship with the person who hurt you. If you keep doing that, I call it, that's silly. But you want to forgive people, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. You forgive and you go on, and that's wonderful. But just because you've been conditioned to think that you're a good person if you forgive people, that doesn't mean that you should continue associating with them. You can forgive them, that's fine. Because whether you forgive them or you don't forgive them, nothing changes. I mean, you don't forgive them, you just constantly trying to pursue, why am I not forgiving them? Maybe I should forgive them. So you forgive them and done with it, and that's fine, perfect, on your way. But then you shouldn't be continuing that relationship. So forgiving is not bad. And not forgiving doesn't mean that you're smarter or anything. You forgive them because you don't have time to deal with it. Okay, that they made a mistake or they're not the right caliber, the right quality for you, and that's the end of it. So, done. But you shouldn't continue a negative situation just because you've been conditioned to think forgiving is good, and if you forgive, you're closer to your religion rules and traditions and so on and so forth. Don't buy a certain image of yourself by complying with things that actually abuses you. So everybody does something bad to me, I forgive him because I want to be good. So actually, you're really not into forgiving that person for what it is, but you're actually doing that so some higher authority that you've created in your head that is watching you or judging you would say, oh, she's good, so therefore, okay, now you have a different image of yourself in your mind because you did an act of forgiveness, and that is part of maybe your tradition or your religion. So in fact, really is a bit of a barter deal. You're doing business with it. You're negotiating to get something more by forgiving this person, but you hate his guts. And you don't have to forgive. You can just move on. Whether you forgive or not forgive, you're not supposed to continue a negative situation with anybody who you feel uncomfortable with. Hello, Rajesh. Thank you. Good to see you. So, Maggie, I hope that means something. I'm talking about my oh! Well, you should have said that earlier. Well, marriage, okay, so if your husband constantly hurts you, if that's a physical hurt, which of course it's absolutely unacceptable, and you should clearly move out of that relationship if somebody physically abuses you. If somebody hurts you by emotional ways, well, you can discuss that if it's a husband or it's, you guys are married, or it's a long relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend. You can discuss it intelligently. Say, listen, what is it that motivates you to be rude to me or hurt me or be disrespectful to me or not appreciate what I deserve, what I have the rights and what my choices are? Discuss it. Do you want this relationship to continue, or our consciousnesses are so different that we can't come up to a collective order that we could agree on and move together in this journey that you've taken on? If that's not going to be happening, so might as well we simply have to go our separate ways, because life is short. Nobody should be abused in any way, shape, or form. Nothing is worse than coming home and being afraid of the consequences of discussion or behavior just because somebody wants to have a temper tantrum or wants to dominate, or it's selfish enough to think that his ego is more important than his partner or her partner. And all these are things that you can discuss it. But if it's any physical or serious, well, any emotional abuse is serious as well. Any kind of an abuse, you discuss it. If it doesn't resolve, then you move out of that situation, no matter if it's a, whatever the relationship is. You're supposed to be safe physically and mentally. Life is supposed to be a happy journey. It's not supposed to be a fearful journey of someone's reaction toward what I want or what I say. I have to keep my mouth shut, be quiet, and just be a subordinate all the time. But these are not today's way of living anymore. It's all about communication and real love. If somebody really loves you and you love them, well, you communicate. You try to make things understood and dealt with, managed together. That's what the whole meaning of partnership means.